We got Corbin Burnes with us today.
What's going on, Burnesy?
I'm going to tilt you up a little bit. There we go.
Thank you for joining us.
Of course. How you guys doing?
We're doing well, man. We're doing well. I just came off your Baseball Savant page. It's very nice. Congratulations.
Built different.
Thank you.
How's the weather out there today?
There we go. Now I'm throwing you around.
Fumble.
It's not bad today. We've got past the 90s, so that's.
Are you a guy that do you feed off the heat? Like when the summer heat kicks in, you're like, that's baseball season. Are you any weather every day or what?
I'm any weather any day. It doesn't. I grew up in Bakersfield in the heat, so it doesn't really bother me too much. But obviously the perfect weather is the ideal time to pitch, but that doesn't bother me too much.
That's some dry heat in Bakersfield too.
Oh yeah. That's a lot different heat than you'll get in the Midwest and down south.
So then you went to St. Mary's. You played college in the clouds.
Gales, baby.
Basically in the clouds. Yes, partly cloudy and rain just about every day.
Did you go to the Stadium Pub at Walnut Creek ever? Stadium Pub? You ever hit up that?
No, we didn't venture down there much. We most guys went over to Lafayette. There's some good restaurants and some stuff over there. It's a lot closer, a lot cheaper on the old the wallet as well.
Yeah, I lived in Walnut Creek for a little bit. I ate a lot of Stadium Pub. Yeah,
it shows.
They're good. They dress up.
Yeah.
Burnsy, we got to ask about the cutter, dude. I mean, that's the pitch. Like, is there a romantic baseball story around it? Like, one day did it just come out and you're like, oh, I throw a 97-mile-per-hour slider. This is nice.
Yeah, and for people that don't know, 2 years ago, you threw, according to the stats, you threw 8 cutters. This season, you've already thrown 540. It went from like a pitch you didn't have to easily your most used pitch. Did you have to get persuaded into it, or did Jake saying, you just find it, or how did that get to be your dominant pitch?
Yeah, so the 8 pitches that were probably recorded in 2019 were probably just 4-seamers that were thrown like crap. Those definitely were not cutters, but okay. The cutter kind of came about after 2019. Obviously we knew that the slider was a good pitch, and we threw it pretty hard. So my thought behind it was, let's try to have something with a little bit less break. I basically wanted to throw two sliders, a strike slider and a punch out slider. And the more that we started to throw this strike slider, the more cutterish it got. And then once I got a better feel with it and could start throwing it harder and commanding it better, is when all of a sudden you're seeing the cutter that that there is now. It's 95, 97. Last year was only really like 92, 93. So the more that we cleaned up some stuff this offseason, got the hand in the right position, was able to start, really trying to throw it hard, is when we got this cutter that we have now.
What's the position for the hands?
It's basically just a 4-seamer with the ball slightly turned. So
this one?
So 4-seam. There you go. Yep, and then just turning it slightly. Yep, the other direction.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Do you think it'll have the same effect with this? We're trying to get our blitz ball on. Same action?
Probably. It might be even more. Who knows? It might turn into a nasty turbo sinker. Who knows? Sometimes that's what happens.
I have the 2-seamer, so I think the cutter would be a nice compliment.
I think if you try to throw a cutter with that, it might turn into a turbo sinker. That's how baseball works sometimes.
It might be my wipeout slider. I might be looking for a slider, and then I get my wipeout slider.
There you go.
Finally. I've got, I hate to get into personal questions. Do you hate AAA? Because your numbers are lights out at every level, including the majors. But your AAA stats, man, those aren't Corbin Burnes. Like, is that a strategy so that you could never, ever have to go back there? Or what was the game plan there?
Yeah, it might be. It might be just like, hey, I'm just not a good AAA pitcher. Let's not do that ever again. No, I think it's just the nature of baseball. You also pitching most of those games in Colorado Springs doesn't help too much. So that kind of makes things elevated. But I mean, yeah, we'll just keep it to. Yeah, I don't like being a AAA. Let's just stay in the league.
That's fine. Your show now. That's perfect. That's perfect. What do you got, Jimmer?
Huh?
You got any more pitches to add to the mix or what?
Well, we throw a little knuckle spin here. If you wanted to try that with a baseball, I think you'd get lit up. So I wouldn't. Hey. Last year there was no DH. Last year there was a DH. This year you're hitting again. Was it you? I'm blanking. I should have looked this up. trading strikeouts, was it you and another pitcher that just kind of stood there and we're like, all right, you get a punchy, I get a punchy? Or is that Woodruff?
So, I mean, opening day, I think, or not opening day, but my first start against Barrios, that's kind of how it was like, hey, we both got a no-hitter going. Let's not mess this up. Let's not get jammed and leave our thumbs at the dish. And it's just kind of like, hey, go ahead. Okay, go ahead. But I think as a whole, our pitching staff, we like to hit. I mean, that's fun. We get out there and, we've got a monthly, per month we have a competition going. We got a points bracket. Like we're doing it, trying to see what we can do and help have some production to help these guys out. But we enjoy it. We hit in the cage. We get hit on the field every now and then. It's one of those things that we kind of take pride in it, and knowing that it could be the last year that we get to hit. It's just let's go out and try to make the most of it.
Can we get a points bracket update? Like, where are you in the standings? Or is there anyone we should be rooting against?
So, April, I think Hauser won it because he hit a home run. One home run in April and one home run in May. But I think Lauer ended up overtaking him in May because Lauer hit the home run in May. And so I'm not sure what the update is in June. We'll have to. Pat Murphy is our points guy. So he usually at the end of the month will be like, hey, you probably need to hit a home run today, otherwise you're going to lose. So he lets us know how many points we're down and what we got to do each day. So it just makes a little fun competition.
That is fun, yeah.
You got a couple hits in the book off of some good names. I'm seeing Waino, Urias, Hamels. Like, what's your one if we're sitting down, we're having a nice Milwaukee brat and a beer. You're like, yeah, you tell the story. Which one's the story to tell?
Oh, I mean, I would probably go with two. I got my first one was off Cole Hamels. That was actually probably one of the better ABs. Worked I think 7 or 8 pitches. I was fouled off 3 or 4. You could tell Hamels was just like, okay, dude, really, you're a pitcher, get out. And then he finally threw one that I got for a hit. So that was my first knock. And then my maybe second knock of the year this year when I got my first RBIs was off Justin Steele with the Cubs, and that was, I think it was bases loaded, 1 out, and again worked a good AB, got jammed, ball went off the label, somehow snuck it into right center for my first 2 RBIs, and actually ended up knocking myself out of the game that day because we got our lead was like 6 or 7 runs after that. So that's probably the better one because like, hey, you're going back out for the 7th. I hit 2 RBIs. Now we're up 7. Hey, you're out of the game now. So it's like, oh, I knocked myself out of the game that day.
That's funny.
Damn.
Man, yeah.
Are you sad for a minute, or do you peacock that? Like, oh, I guess my work is done now.
If we watch that, when you get to the base, does your face kind of drop when you're like, oh, no.
Crap.
No, I didn't really realize until I was walking off the field, and then, Counts kind of gave me like, hey, yeah, that's it. And I'm like, wait, oh, well, I should have maybe rolled into a double play or something there.
When you put together an at-bat like that against Hamels or against a pitcher, and then they step into the box against you, are you thinking like, oh, man, this guy, is going to really bring it now? Like, is it more nerve-wracking?
Not really. I think, obviously, the pitcher wants to get the pitcher out and hopefully punch him out on 3 pitches. For me, I'm hoping that he goes up there and swings to the first pitch and hits a little comebacker to me or something. And it's like 1 pitch, 1 out. Like that would be the ideal, I think, situation for every pitcher when they go up there is, here, I'm just going to toss him over the plate, go ahead and hit it back to me, and you can take 5 or 6 steps out of the box and turn and we can both call it a day. Just save some pitches. And so obviously every starting pitcher wants to go deep into a game. So I think that would probably be the ideal situation for me. But you always know when a guy gets in the box, like when I faced Wainwright the other day, like Wainwright can swing. He's got some home runs, got some knocks. You have to be a little conscious of it. But for the most part, it's like, hey, you don't want to throw more than 4 pitches to the pitcher.
We've asked a bunch of Brewers this when we have them on. If you could steal a pitch from one of your teammates, is it Hader's fastball, Williams' changeup? Is it something else we don't know about? Like if you get to grab it, put it in your arsenal.
Suter's footwork.
I don't know. I got some pretty good footwork down the line the other day after my hit. I don't know if you guys saw that one. I would probably go at the moment probably Devin's changeup. I mean that's just to add that to what else I got working would be pretty nice for sure.
That's gross. Man, I want to I know we got to let you go in a second. I want to personally thank you on our Talking Baseball podcast before the season. We did some like guys you like, don't like, and I was like, Burnesy up in Milwaukee. I think he keeps it going this year.
He's got the 22nd best odds. Finished 6th in the Cy Young last year. He's in his prime age. He found something. Corbin Burnes of the Brewers is plus 4,000. But don't be surprised if you look later in the season and those odds start creeping up on Corbin Burnes. I think he could be a breakout player this year. He kind of did break out, but it was just a small year.
At basically each one of your starts, I get a bunch of tweets that are like, "You were on this one." I was like, "I didn't do anything. His cutter's gross."
No,
So
I think he's asking you for a thank you.
Yeah, we made it work.
Yeah.
There you go.
Tandem. He had faith. You did
Yeah.
everything else.
Let's go. Crew.
We've asked everyone else, have you been down the slide?
Yeah.
I actually have not been down the slide. I've seen some guys go down the slide, and you catch some speed going down that thing. I mean, they put a little rug down for you to sit on, and I mean some guys will get going and run into the wall at the end of it. Like, I'm not a big heights guy, so I might wait a little while on that one.
They put the little thing down like at the fair,
I didn't know that,
like
yeah.
a potato section.
Yeah, so because otherwise you might get stuck. Like if you're just wearing shorts, like you don't want skin grabbing and
That's
get ugly. So usually they'll put like a little mat or rug or something down so you don't hurt yourself, and you get haul butt down that thing.
I think the Brewers need to, like on picture day, we need like a group slide video, just a train of Brewers coming out.
Right. We'll have to talk to the media over here.
It's a big jumbotron.
Yeah, there you go.
Mid slide face for everyone. All right, man. Just giving ideas. You pass those along if you want. If not, it's cool.
Yep, I will. I'll shoot them up the chain.
Keep shoving, man.
Yeah.
Say hi to all the dudes, and keep winning and having fun, because that's what it's all about.
That's it.
Thanks for sitting down with us. Appreciate it.
Yep. No, thank you guys for having me on. Thank you.
See ya.
Later.